Obviously, at Combat Compas, we do not shy away from controversy. We like it. We like it a lot. So obviously, I wanted a little bit of controversy, and I don't know. I like stirring the pot a little bit. So I'm going to ask Gilberto, who are the top five pound for pound boxers right now in the world? And Gilbert, your list is pretty interesting. Let me share my screen right here, so that we can let the good folks know this is Gilbert's top pound for pound. Gilbert, please go through it.
Yeah, first of all, Fernando, we need a graphic designer on Compas on the Beat because we have here we have a world, no, a word.
Microsoft Word.
There you go, Microsoft Word. I use Google Docs. Is that something that people don't really use? I don't know. I'm a
No, yeah,
Google Docs guy,
people use both. I like Microsoft Word.
but this graph here works. And by the way, let me kind of explain it. You know, good idea from both of us to do a top 5 pound for pound list, and it's a good time because Canelo Álvarez just had his fight against Triple G,
Boom.
so yeah, it
He
was
had
a
his pillow
snooze
fight.
fest. So that's the reason why I did it. Canelo Álvarez just fought, and people used to consider Canelo number one. He's falling off, as you can tell on the list here. So this is my top 5 pound for
Fun
pound list.
fact, by the way. Fun fact, at the Bad Bunny concert that Saturday night, he did not come out until the Canelo Triple G fight was over. So he made everybody wait until that fight was over. But continue with your list.
I wonder if Bad Bunny left, like, he was okay, 6 rounds, snoozer, let's go to the concert. That could have been something for him. But yeah, people thought Canelo Alvarez was the best pound for pound fighter, and then he lost to Dimitri Bivol, and then he kind of had a snoozer with Triple G, so he's falling off. And as you can tell here in Gilberto's top 5 pound for pound list, real quickly, I'll just say the 5 names, and you can't look at the screen. Maybe you're on audio, whatever. I don't know. We're mostly YouTube right now, Fernando.
Yeah, we're going to YouTube.
But number 1, Terence Crawford, welterweight superstar. Number 2, Alexander Usyk, unified heavyweight champion, not undisputed because Tyson Fury has one of the belts. Number 3, Errol Spence, a unified welterweight champion. I think 3 belts, and he needs 1 more belt, and that's Terence Crawford. And then number 4, hopefully I'm not butchering the first name. I know how to say the last name, but Naoye, the monster from Japan. That guy's a monster. I'm repeating myself. He is a monster for a reason. And number 5, maybe a little surprising. You could ask me a question right there at the beginning at number 5, Fernando. We'll go from there. But number 5, Saul Canelo Álvarez, Viva Mexico, cabrones. He's 5th.
Okay, now I have a question about 1 and 3 are about a fight, right?
It's looking like it's like we keep getting little news, like it's like, oh, they're about to agree to a contract. Oh, all the money stuff is out the way. Oh, little small things here, but supposedly we're on our path for them fighting in November. I think I saw Fernando, and I'm kind of disappointed because if it is that weekend, I want to say November 19th, I'll be in New Orleans, and I'll probably be a few shots in, so I don't know if I'll watch a fight. But
shot.
We are on the collision course, Fernando, to fight November 19th is what I keep.
Is that a Sunday night game, or is that a regular 1 p.m. or 10 a.m.?
Well, when it's Jameis Winston, you don't get many primetime games.
Okay, because I was gonna say that you're gonna have a long morning that next day. Because if it was a Sunday night game, at least like it was like at the Raiders game when we were in Vegas, we all recovered. We were able to make it to the stadium and everything. But but definitely okay. And then why no Tyson Fury?
Yes, good question.
He hasn't fought?
I don't know. It's just like, that's actually a good question. Tyson Fury, he was definitely the first on Missed the Cut. It's just I really love Alexander Usyk, and this is where I actually explain my thinking, because obviously pound for pound lists are very subjective. Everybody's different opinions, and I think for me is the combination of a resume and the eye test. Do you look like you're a world? I almost said effing again. Do you look like a freaking? That's why I said a lot of freaking a lot, Fernando. If you notice,
but you say the F word with boxing a lot more than you do with any other sport. I've noticed.
I just get into it, man.
I know, that's why.
When you look like an elite champion, a world-class fighter, F word, you pass the eye test for me. And that's why Terence Crawford is number 1. Like, he doesn't have the resume of Errol Spence. I know that wasn't a question, but when you just look like, man, you're on a different level. The eye test, that's Alexander Usyk. Like, he just picked apart Anthony Joshua. I know Anthony Joshua, maybe it's debatable between who's better, and Deontay Wilder and Joshua, because that is Tyson Fury's best fight, right? Beating Deontay Wilder. Who's better, Wilder or Joshua? Can we kind of summarize that way? But I think Tyson Fury has, the deeper resume. He's been in the heavyweight division longer. He beat Klitschko to become the WBC champion. He's held that belt. Actually, he lost it for a couple of years because of a binger. Speaking of New Orleans bingers, Tyson Fury had a binger there. This is going off the rails here, Fernando.
Yeah,
But
that's what we're all here for.
Alexander Usyk, he's just a world-class fighter, so skillful. And the best part, Fernando, if you want to just brawl and duke it out, like when Anthony Joshua was getting fed up and he was trying to brawl, okay, bring it. I'll take a shot here in the chin. It doesn't matter. I'm from the Ukraine. I was in a war, man. And this guy, he's just talented overall. But it was tough because I really like Tyson Fury. In terms of skills, maybe a notch below Usyk, but he's bigger. There you go.
Miss American
And
Pie.
and a much
Drove
better
my Chevy
singer
to
is
the
Tyson Fury.
levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye,
Tyson
saying
Fury,
this is the
if you're watching this, get on the show because you and Fernando duet would be
yo.
amazing.
If we got Tyson Fury on this show, I could tell you, me and him are going off the rails. We're having fun. We're doing it all.
We're gonna cut this out and send it to our guy Evan Korn, PR, head of communications, a top rank. We need Tyson Fury here. We're calling you out, Evan.
Oh no, him and I would Tyson Fury and I would blow we would blow the internet up. It would just be too much fun. Let me ask you, is Usage the perfect guy to go up against Tyson Fury next? Like, would that give him basically his best? That'd be his best opponent in probably a while.
Fernando, I'm a person who likes to give myself credit whenever I get a win because you think I'm cursed for everything. But I went on
my
this.
Brother.
Well, you too, okay? You're falling for it, but
I have fun with it.
I went on this program here, Combat Compas. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. And I said that rumor of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, forget about it. That's not gonna happen. And it's already forgotten. It's kind of a leverage thing. It's more to get headlines. So yeah,
how are you gonna give a guy that failed and got blown apart?
What are we doing here?
It
was contract negotiation tactic. Nice try, Tyson Fury. It didn't work out. They got to fight though. We got to get an undisputed champion. Same thing with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. We got to get those guys together. And Fernando, you haven't asked me about this guy. I know.
No, remember I went 1, I went 3, I went 2. Now I'm about to hit 4 because I want number 4. I'm ignorant. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what weight class he's in. I don't know who he could fight. Like, explain to me who he is.
Yeah, Inoue, another top-ranked fighter. Shout out to those guys.
Okay.
Inoue from Japan, and it's funny because our good friend Brian, B South Sports guy from Las Vegas, came on the round table for the Canelo Triple G, and he's like, "Who's this guy too?" The same thing, and he's like, "Well, he got touched up by Nonito Donaire. Like Donaire's an older guy. Like if you're the best, why is it? I think he just got a little bored. This guy is a very skillful fighter, and he wanted to kind of just duke it out. Okay. Come on, somebody fight with me. And it became a good little war. The second time they fought, he destroyed him. That's what I was expecting. I think it was like a vicious second round knockout left hook. That's who Inoue is. I think that's where he came up again on the rank. So, he has a combination of skill, but then the resume is not as deep. Like the guy who has the best resume on here, Fernando, is Errol Spence and obviously Canelo Álvarez. But then there's other guys who have the better skill for the eye test.
All right, now to number 5, Gilbert. Saúl Canelo Álvarez, mexicanos al grito de guerra. All right, that's all I got. Dan Dago actually knows almost the whole Mexican national anthem as well as the American one.
Good for him. He's dual citizenship or what? He likes both.
I mean, Dan Dago's a citizen of the world.
There you go.
He's international, so
he's out
there. But so is it more about the losses and the kind of fights he's had lately, or why do you feel like? I mean, because I may move my boy Tyson Fury up into that number 5, and Saúl might have fallen off of my list. I just thought that Bivol fight was embarrassing for him, and then I didn't like the way he came out against Triple G, to be completely honest.
Well, the reason why I still had him like top 3 after the loss of Bivol, I was like, hey, this guy, dare to be great. He took a challenge, and I respect that. He went up a weight class. The guy was too big, and it wasn't like he got dominated. It was just like, okay, maybe with a better game plan, he could maybe pull this off in the future. And so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, it was just a big challenge. He went back down to his weight class, and I didn't think he looked that great against Triple G. Yeah, he won the fight because Triple G was, older, not the same dude. But like, if you're supposed to be the best of the best, when a guy is, a little over the hill, you take him out, you knock him out, you destroy him. and Triple G had a little bit of new life because he let up on him. And I know we found out that he had the broken, was it the left hand or right hand? I forget
Left
which one.
wrist.
Yeah, left wrist. And by the way, friend, we were trying to figure out when this thing broke. Supposedly it's been broken for a while or whatever it was. He said like a year. So maybe I could explain the whole bibble. It sounds like more excuses again.
He could have had surgery at any time. He could have taken his time
Yeah,
off.
it's either he's vegan or he has a bad hand. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on
so
here.
now
So
now we're snowballing excuses.
exactly. So that's why he's in the fifth category. But I love his resume. He's fought a lot of top fighters, champions, and when he was fighting top champions and then doing it at an elite class, he was doing the resume and the eye test. Those are the two things I care about. But now the eye test is falling. There's a loss. And so that's why I'm going fifth here. So maybe you can make a case for your boy Tyson Fury. But Fernando, that is my top 5 pound for pound list in boxing.
Now, if Pitbull or if Gervonta would beat Pitbull or Ryan Garcia, he would. I think he would go over Canelo, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Gervonta is definitely the eye test guy, but I just want to see the resume a little better. He doesn't have a lot of big fights, or he fought some.
I don't think he's
dudes.
gonna fight Ryan Garcia before the year's over.
Yeah, it's not looking like. And then like Gervonta's having a lot of some legal trouble. We don't have to get into that, but he was supposed to fight in December. Ain't looking like it anymore. But he's a good skillful fighter. And then Devin Haney
fights with El Zurdo Ramirez.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. If he wins that one, I could definitely see him cracking top 5. And I wonder if Canelo's gonna fight Bivol. Like, is he gonna go back to that and give it a shot? We'll see. And then if he beats Bivol,
I think he would fight Bivol again. I don't think he'll fight El Zurdo Ramirez for one reason and one reason only. Because Mexican against Mexican. I don't think he wants to do that.
I don't know why.
He did it against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but that's because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was everybody knows about him. Yeah. But here, I think El Zurdo does have a lot of fans in Mexico, and I feel like he would get nervous that the fans may turn on him and go more with El Zurdo than go with him. So I don't think Canelo would fight El Zurdo. I do see him fighting. I think he'd give it another crack with Bivol, but I don't think he'd fight El Zurdo.
Did you see that video after the post fight news conference where like he's like, I don't care what these people do. These other like the Benavides of the world, the Zurdos, whatever, the Bibbos, and he got pretty annoyed with the questions about who to fight. And he's like, no more questions. I'm tired. I'm a little mad. I don't know if you saw that. It's gone viral on TikTok.
No, I didn't see that.
And he shut down the news conference because I think these questions about fighting Zurdo, Gilberto, my tocayo, and Benavides, like they're kind of starting to annoy him. And like, these are Latino fighters, Mexican fighters. Maybe you're right. You're on something, Fernando. But he does not like these questions. Maybe because he's so focused on getting the rematch with Bill because that's one that he lost. Sometimes when you get that loss, you want to make it right. So you're just focusing on that one person. It could be that. I don't know. But Fernando, I'm ready. I'm done here with boxing. I want to hear what you have to say in the wrestling world.
Man, I'm trying to find those videos because that's pretty funny. Who's been talking a lot of crap lately is De La Hoya. De La Hoya's been talking a lot of crap about Canelo, saying that he doesn't look good. Man, that relationship went from being like everybody was so about it and they were like, oh my God, what a great relationship, to now it being like now it being like one of the uglier relationships in boxing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get De La Hoya and Canelo on the show, and they'll have some fighting words on this podcast here, and that'd be awesome. And speaking of like people who like to be controversial, Fernando, shout out to the people who watched the video of Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. They had to hear my rant about that supposedly pointless match. 1,000 views, Fernando. I'm surprised.
Honestly, I think people get a kick out of that kind of stuff, and that's why we're doing a little bit more of this stuff, because there are topics that come out that don't deserve a whole, like, not deserve, but like it's a whole show. We don't need a whole show. We can do little segments like this and talk about it.